This is a level of class treason that exceeds the most copy behavior imaginable. It's insane. You'll never guess who made an appearance at the RNC. Hello to you.
I'm Sean O'Brien, General President of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters.
This is the guy was like nearly got Sean Fain. That's it. Because they're both called Sean. No wonder I got him mixed up. They both have aggressively Irish names, Sean Fain and Sean O'Brien. It's crazy. Ireland sending their best. Anyway, this is the guy who was rearing for a fight in the Senate committee hearing that he was participating at. Sean Fain is low-key an actual Marxist. Yeah. Head of the UAW is actually like, you know, keeping Kalishnikovs stocked up in his wall. Anna Kasparian having a meltdown over Sean O'Brien's speech. Had a fight with Destiny. Destiny sure has been active on Twitter lately, huh? Sean O'Brien's RNC speech wasn't just historic because it was something you never hear at the RNC. I didn't expect anyone in the party to take corporate greed to task. Oh no. Has anyone told Anna Kasparian that Donald Trump also criticized corporate greed leading up to 2016, and that when Republicans hear like challenging corporate greed, what they actually hear is like either anything ranging from the Jews to like the liberal coastal elites, and it's not actually a salient critique of capital? So where's Destiny beefing with this?
I'd like to give my peeps from the greatest state in the nation, Massachusetts, some props. What's up? First, I want to thank the hardworking Teamsters and union members.
None of them are on it because Trump isn't going to do call to any of these giant corporations. All of them know it. Unironically, like actual example of Destiny outflanking Anna Kasparian to the left. I'm not going to waste any time trying to ascribe intentions to a person who, as far as I can tell, bases all of his political like leanings on the contrarianism, but in this case, you know, credit where credit is due. How do you, as Anna Kasparian, how are you a seasoned political commentator for this long, and you're still falling for like you're like Charlie Brown trying to kick the football, and she keeps pulling it away at the last second, you know? Like, surely this right-wing critique of corporate power won't actually be you know, flaccid and impotent and not actually lead to any positive change. This guy was also accused of hiding racial discrimination in the union. Everard Claire? Hello? Everard? I say this earnestly because your behavior has been manic on here lately. Oh. Beer person. Hello. You're spiraling. It was a great speech. Does Anna Kasparian have a problem with Destiny claiming that he doesn't care about stochastic terrorism against the right? Why do unions get so tricked by the world? Well, we haven't even seen the speech yet. She doesn't miss. Anna having the nerve to say someone else is spiraling. True! Anna looking straightforwardly directly into the mirror. I think you're having an emotional breakdown. I think that your posts lately have been indicative of mental decline. I think you need to chill out for a second. All right. What if we listened to the speech? What if we found out what the actual speech was a little bit?
Here in Milwaukee, who play vital roles in the building and operations of this convention. I also want to thank President Donald Trump for opening the RNC's doors to the Teamsters Union and inviting me to speak before you tonight.
Oh, I should be clear, by the way, right off the bat, I think this is a bitch move. This is not an opportunity to platform yourself at the RNC. The RNC will never be pro-worker. Ever. They will never be pro-worker. Ever in a million. It'll never happen. Ever. So all you're doing by showing up here is providing false endorsement. You know, you're just doing free promo. Yeah. Yeah, you're asking the cat to be pro-mouse.
I travel all across this country and meet with my members every week. You know what I see? An American worker being taken for granted. Workers being sold out to big banks, big tech, corporates, and the elite. And I'm not the only one who sees this. Everyday families see it. The American people aren't stupid. They know the system is broken. We all know how Washington is run. Working people have no chance of winning this fight. That's why I'm here today, because I refuse to keep doing the same things my predecessors did. Today, the Teamsters are here to say we are not beholden to anyone or any party.
Okay.
We will create an agenda and work with a bipartisan coalition ready to accomplish something real for the American worker.
Yeah, sorry, this is fascist collaborationism. I don't give a shit. This keys into the exact same thing that the Nazis did before Hitler took power, where they pretended to be pro-union and pro-like worker rehabilitation. And like they pretended to have a bunch of pro-worker parties, this fake bipartisanship. This motherfucker knows, everybody knows, the Republicans are never going to be pro-worker. They can't be pro-worker. It's ideologically anathema to them. All this does is feed in further to the, like, challenging the deep state. We're the real representatives of the white working class. We're bringing jobs back to the Rust Belt. You know, this is the socialism part of National Socialism. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
And I don't care about getting criticized.
Wow.
It's an honor to be the
good.
first Teamster in our 121-year history to address the Republican National Convention.
Why? Why? Like literally, like, why is that? Why is that an honor? Like that'd be like, it is my honor to be the very first black civil rights leader to address the white Citizens Council members. Like at the first black man at the Klan rally. Why? That's not indicative of any kind of like coalition building on your part. It's just selling out. This is, literally, this is just being done for political favor. I wouldn't be surprised if back-end deals were being done to facilitate this. Like, some behind the scenes, like, yeah, we'll carve out some exceptions for you. We'll do some things that benefit you. And in return, what he's giving Trump is the ability to say, we're not anti-worker. As a matter of fact, we're so committed to bringing jobs back to the middle class, you know, that we had the head of the Teamsters Union speak at the RNC.
Several months ago, I asked the RNC and the DNC for the opportunity to speak. To be frank, when President Trump invited me to speak at this convention, there was political unrest on the left and on the right. Hard to believe. Anti-union groups demanded the president rescind his invitation. You
might notice, by the way, as much as this guy wants to come across as bold, he hasn't actually said anything to challenge the audience here. And he's not going to. I bet you dollars to donuts, at no point is this guy going to go, and yeah, this is a party of the elite. Donald Trump is a billionaire. The people in this audience are overwhelmingly wealthy business owners. The policies of the Republican Party have been historically even more antagonistic to the working class than the Democrats, and the Democrats haven't been good either. You know, I bet you he's not going to. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen the speech, but that's my guess.
Left called me a traitor.
How dare the left call you a traitor for attending the RNC as a union lead? Yeah, boo louder. He's literally stoking it. Yeah, he's like, yeah, boo the left.
And this is precisely why it's so important for me to be here today. Think about this. Think about this. The Teamsters are doing something correct. If the extremes in both parties...
Oh my God, dude, really? This guy, they gotta oust this guy, man. Are you kidding me? You know union leaders are doing something right when both the workers and the capitalists hate it. What are you talking about? What?
Think I shouldn't be on this stage.
Mussolini asked talking points, yeah.
President Trump had the backbone to open the doors to this Republican convention. And
You.
that's unprecedented.
Because you were let in on the condition that you not say anything directly critical to the Republicans, even though the Republican policy platform is incredibly anti-union, even more so than the Democrats. That's why you were brought. You're an op. You were brought in. Yeah, he's bouncing on it and moaning right now. You were brought in with conditions.
No other nominee in the race would have invited the Teamsters into this arena. Now, you can have whatever opinion you want, but one thing is clear. President Trump is a candidate who is not afraid of hearing from new, loud, and often critical voices.
Are you kidding me? Is this he literally completely surrounded himself with yes men. He purged his cabinet, filled it with yes men. When people in his cabinet disagreed with his decision making, he replaced them. He put his family in positions of power around him so that he literally had his own blood, like, affirming his decisions. This is what Ana Kasparian said was good. This is like the height of Ana Kasparian's intellect, I think, at the moment. Like, this is the cat toy you could dangle in front of her for maximum effect.
And I think we all can agree.
Yeah, he literally took over the RNC with loyalists. Yeah, literally, like, at every level of the Republican Party. Donald Trump has ousted people who disagree with him. There is no one in the history of modern American politics less capable of handling disagreement than Donald Trump. Richard Nixon's administration, in comparison, was like a robust and vibrant center of disagreement.
The people like him or they don't like him. In light of what happened to him on Saturday, he has proven to be one tough SOB.
Wow, wow, just a full-on endorsement. Okay. I assumed he was going to come here and do the fake centrist thing. Okay, we're just fully, like, Teamsters pro-RNC, in spite of the fact that literally every policy is again literal, unironic class traitor. Great speech. Thank you, Ana Kasparian. Dude was paid hundreds of thousands for this speech. Yeah, probably. This is fully like collaborate. Look, I'm not saying nothing, okay? All I'm saying is that in a different time, in a different country, behavior like this would be considered most unwise. Your family would be writing letters to you if you were caught doing shit like this. That's all I'm saying, okay? Are you kidding me? Is it a joke? The Teamsters union lead?
Now, when I won the presidency of the Teamsters in a national election 2.5 years ago, we started reaching across the aisle. In the past, the Teamsters have endorsed GOP candidates, including Nixon, Reagan, and George H.W. Bush.
That's great.
But over the last 40 years, the Republican Party has really pursued strong relationships with organized labor.
I know I keep bringing it back to her, but Ana Kasparian, can you please give me a plug for whatever the you were smoking when you endorsed this shit? That's some premium Cali Kush down there, man. I thought I was getting the good stuff up here in Washington. Clearly, I'm still leagues behind. What the fuck?
Some of the party who stand in active opposition to labor unions. This too must change.
This is a coup. This guy is going to get shafted by Teamsters. This guy's endorsement has the entire Teamsters union divided. So many are calling him a scab masquerading as pro-union advocate. This guy's been bought. This is like an unironic, like, op. Genuinely, this is like money or favors exchanged hands. We bought out. That, you know, Biden's like the most pro-union president of the past century. How do we compete with that? We can't, because we're anti-union. Let's just buy out the head of the Teamsters. Maybe this dude is just naive. No, that would be you. They gotta get this guy.
And I want to be clear. At the end of the day, the Teamsters are not interested if you have a D, R, or an I next to your name. We want to know one thing. what are you doing to help American workers?
Notice how he's not actually specifying any policies because he's allowing the viewers to fill in the blanks. To a Republican voter, what they're thinking right now is, oh, we can help American workers by closing down the border and beating back China.
I know that no window or door should ever be permanently shut. In my administration, the Teamsters reached out to 8 Republican senators who stood up for railroad Teamsters over our fight for paid sick leave. Josh Hawley was one of them.
That's great, man. Out of curiosity, would you mind telling me which party voted which way? Like, do you know the total number of votes in that one? I'm just curious. You like, we want to go over the specific... I don't remember the exact numbers. Can somebody find it? Can somebody find the vote on that?
We started talking. Senator Hawley changed his position on national right to work. Then we started walking. Senator Hawley walked a Teamsters picket line in St. Louis and a UAW picket line in Wentzville, Missouri. More than that, I want to recognize Senator Hawley for his direct, relentless, and pointed questioning of corporate talking heads, lawyers, CEOs, and apologists.
Hawley is like an out-and-about fascist, by the way, like, just to be clear.
He has shown...
Look, dude, look at this shit. Rail worker, union president, labor deal. Look at this. The bill passed the House on Wednesday with a narrow bipartisan majority, 221 to 207, with only 3 Republicans voting for it. Insane. I saw something on Twitter about how Dems prevented thousands of Teamsters people from having their pensions cut or Republicans were enabling. Yeah, no. This guy, like I said, purely bought, literally bought. And Ana Kasparian has been just as, but I still don't know whether it's like genuine mental, like a break or money that changed Ana. But like, if you're like, this is insane, dude. Oh, Hawley apparently now opposes right to work. Is that true? Did he flip back over on that? Oh, wow, crazy. Oh, wait, right to work laws. Sorry, wait. No longer supporting right to work laws is a good thing. They're named misleadingly, deliberately to confuse me for 8 seconds while I'm sick. Right to work is a bad thing. It's a euphemistic law that gives the businesses more leeway in firing people. Republican Senator Josh Hawley visited UAW Local 2250 workers in the picket line while he hypocritically tried to cast himself as pro-worker while his record tells otherwise. Thank you, Labor Tribune. We love our old-style workers' newspapers.
He is not willing to accept their pillaging of working people's pocketbooks. I know from a career in negotiating that you get nowhere by slamming your fist on the table. The first step is to listen. The Teamsters and the GOP may not agree on many issues, but
what issues don't you agree on? You seem like really unwilling to explain any of the entirety of disagreements that you have and the policy positions that you differ on, almost as though you've been paid or brought here on the condition that you not say anything remotely negative.
The growing group has shown the courage to sit down and consider points of view that aren't funded by big money think tanks. Senators like J.D. Vance, Roger Marshall, and Representatives Nicole Malliotakis, Mike Lawler, and Brian Fitzpatrick are among elected officials who truly care about working people.
Like insane.
And this group is expanding and is putting fear into those who have monopolized our very broken system in America today.
J.D. Vance is one of the biggest like corporate think tank money piles in American political history. Literally just like a funnel for Thiel to dump money into. You know, but who cares, man? Whatever. Just say any old shit. How much does it cost for a union leader? So, well, this guy is wealthy, but you know, this is like classic union stuff. I will say though, like, they got to get this guy. And by get, I mean, like, they have to oust him from the presidency of Teamsters. But, like, they got to get him. They got to get this guy. This is a level of class treason that exceeds the most copy behavior imaginable. It's difficult to even, this isn't even, like, people being paid $1 a week being sent to the New York tenements to beat down the heads of union workers or whatever. I mean, it's insane.
There are far too many people on both sides of the aisle still caught up in knee-jerk reactions to unions, who subscribe to the same tired claptrap that unions destroy American companies. Take a moment to consider United Parcel Service, which is the largest private sector logistics company, and it's been unionized for more than 100 years. More than 350,000 Teamsters make it run. We work for good middle-class wages, quality health care, and secure pensions.
Notice how there's no clapping whenever he says anything remotely pro-union. Yeah, look, he says all of this to dead silence, and then he's like, and you know who agrees with me? Josh Hawley, and everyone loses their mind. Like, no one here gives a shit. No one here gives a shit.
Our work rules that ensure fairness and due process for both sides. UPS is the most efficient package delivery company in the world. But let's not forget that UPS doesn't provide these great wages and benefits out of the kindness of its heart. UPS does it because the Teamsters fight for it, all 350,000 of us. You know, corporatists hate when working people join together to form unions.
From Jenk. The Sean O'Brien speech was the most progressive speech I've ever seen at a Republican or Democratic convention. He connected the dots for the Republicans, the elites you guys hate, or corporate elites. Yeah, man, he's really connecting dots right now. That's crazy. The Republicans have never heard like meandering, non-specific, populist rambling about corporate elites screwing over middle-class America in a way that didn't lead to anything and only emboldened fascism. That's, oh man, that's so true. You know, if Trump wins, I guess, you know, following through on the incredible political instincts of Cenk and Anna, I guess now that this guy's been allowed to speak, personally invited by Trump at the RNC, I guess that means that Trump's second term will be pro-union? Are they willing to stake that? What about a bet?
But for a century, major employers have waged a war against labor by forming corporate unions of their own. We need to call the Chamber of Commerce and the business roundtables what they are. They are unions for big business. And here's another fact.
Wow, that's crazy. He criticizes consolidator. Oh wait, I'm still recovering. We'll just say bad behavior from corporations, but only in so far as like ineffective corporate or government branches regulate them. You know. Like, we now have a criticism to level. We will specifically name, corporate consolidation. Thank you. We will now specifically name the institutions we're angry at. Coincidentally, it's the government. Wow.
Gigantic multinational corporation, an individual worker has zero power. It's only when Americans band together in democratic unions that we win real improvements on wages, benefits, and working conditions. Companies like
dead silence. You could see he was waiting right there. That pause was like, oh, are you gonna clap for like the like seminal endorsement of the fundamental principle of a union? No one here likes unions. Okay, I'll continue.
Amazon are bigger than most national economies. Amazon is valued over $2 trillion. That makes it the 14th largest economy in the world. What is sickening is that Amazon has abandoned any national allegiance. Amazon's sole focus is on lining its own pockets.
As opposed to other corporations. Amazon is an acceptable target. Republicans don't like Amazon. They don't like Jeff Bezos.
Remember, elites have no party, elites have no nation.
Also, wow, National Socialism. That's great. Criticizing corporations as not being nationally allegiant, that is literally word for word like the Jewish Bolshevism line that Nazis employed. The idea that like the criticisms of mainstream capitalism as a like undercutting of national interest, you know? That's great. That's so cool.
Their loyalty is to the balance sheet and the stock price at the expense of the American worker.
That's First of all, that's every business. Second of all, not just the American worker, all workers. This is Strasserite shit.
In my office in Washington, D.C., I can see the United States Capitol from my window. I see well-intentioned people arrive in Washington and get eaten up by an unforgiving system. The responsibility to average Americans takes a back seat. The objective now becomes survival. Fundraiser after fundraiser. Corporate consultants hedge every initiative. The Hill crawls with lifers, bouncing from government jobs to corporate jobs and back again. I think we can all agree D.C. is a pretty treacherous area. Most legislation is never meant to go anywhere, and it's all talk. And in America, talk isn't cheap. It's very expensive, and it comes at the cost of our own country. Working people know our system is broken. The elites are not laboring on behalf of workers. There is a political caste system that prevents citizens from accessing their representatives to hold them accountable. For a moment in time, working people in America were seen as essential. Sadly, it took a global pandemic for political and corporate elites to notice this fact. But ask yourself this question. Since the end of the pandemic, when was the last time you heard major news outlets regularly refer to workers as essential? You haven't. The men and women who provide goods and services.
This is like a picture perfect representation of how pro-worker advocacy that is not rooted in Marxist philosophy or anarchist philosophy, repping my fellows there, is worthless. Because if you fall into the trap of referring to these groups purely as elites, as opposed to specifically the bourgeoisie, you end up getting folded into a million other narratives that make you not only politically convenient to fascists, you are like doing their work for them. Because you can twist elite in a million different ways, which is why he's being vague here, because he's been bought. This guy isn't like accidentally doing this. He's deliberately crafting his rhetoric in a way that doesn't directly challenge the pseudo pro-worker narrative of the MAGA movement.
Deliver packages, stock grocery shelves, care for patients, pick up your trash, and keep our communities safe.
So Anna's literally falling for the Nazi propaganda. Well, we already know that Anna will buy Anna will support any candidate who promises to like clean the streets of degenerates. So yeah, she probably would too. Teamsters president faces backlash over unconscionable GOP convention speech. Sean O'Brien accused of bolstering most anti-union party and president by senior members of his own union. They're gonna get this guy. Yeah, this guy is not like super popular within his own party, or not party, sorry, within his own union. Literally, like, if we find out in the future that this guy's entire career has crescendoed at this point, that he was a paid op from day one, I would not be surprised. Vice President at large of the Teamsters called this speech unconscionable. He urged members of the union to demand O'Brien cancel his planned appearance.
Safe are taken for granted. All the while, the stock market booms, housing prices hit record highs, and corporate salaries skyrocket. But the income of everyday Americans are shrinking in the face of inflation. At the gas pumps, at the grocery store, with the electrical bill, and with the car insurance. This has got to change. Never forget, American workers own this nation. We are not renters. We are not.
Oh, not dead on that, because every motherfucker in the audience is a landlord, dude. Literally, when he says every American worker, what the Republican hears, white people, American citizens and white people. He mentions renters, crickets. Because it's like, wait, what's wrong with, wait, I thought we were just talking about white America. What's wrong with landlords, you know?
Tenants, but the corporate elite treat us like squatters, and that is a crime. We've got to fix it.
What was that?
We've got to fix it.
I have no idea what that person is saying. Barely any applause.
Now, this will shock you.
Oh?
This will shock you.
Oh?
To paraphrase Senator Mark Wayne Mullen, it's time for both sides of Congress to stand their butts up.
Wow, that's shocking. An insincere call for bipartisanship? Wow.
We need trade policies that put American workers first. It needs to be easier for companies to remain in America.
Wow, interesting. We're listing specific policies, and the first two that he lists are just about tariffs and America first, like, trade deals, not, I don't know, anything having to do with challenging the bourgeoisie in our own country. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm pro-union. I support tariffing Chinese steel. What?
We need legal protections that make it safer for workers to get a contract. We must stop corporations from abandoning local communities to inflate their bottom line. We need meaningful bankruptcy reform today.
Any policy proposals that might elicit a boo from the audience? We need a rise in the minimum wage, perhaps. We need stronger unions so they're better able to negotiate against, like, their corporate overlord, like anything like that.
Corporate vultures buy up companies like Yellow Freight with the intent of driving them into bankruptcy and feasting on their remains. The courts leave workers begging for crumbs as third-tier creditors. Labor law must be reformed.
Oh?
Americans vote for a union but can never get a union contract. Companies fire workers who try to join unions and hide behind toothless laws that are meant to protect working people but are manipulated to benefit corporations.
This is something. This is something. Total silence from the audience.
This is economic terrorism at its best. An individual cannot withstand such an assault. A fired worker cannot afford corporate delays, and these greedy employers know it. There are no consequences for the company, only the worker. We need corporate welfare reform. Under our current system, massive companies like Amazon, Uber, Lyft, and Walmart take zero responsibilities for the workers they employ. These companies offer no real health insurance, no retirement benefits, no paid leave, relying on underfunded public assistance. And who foots the bill? The individual taxpayer.
How does bro not realize he's talking to the wrong crowd? Oh, he knows. It's like it would literally be like a black civil rights leader going to a white citizen councilman's meeting and saying, hey, we need racial equality, and never pointing out that he's at a white citizens council meeting. Yeah, I'll talk to anyone about racial equality. It doesn't matter to me. I'm the very first black civil rights leader to attend a white citizen council meeting. If I'm getting criticized from both the racists and the anti-racists, then I must be doing something correct.
The biggest recipients of welfare in this country are corporations, and this is real corruption. We must put workers first. What could be more important to the security of our nation than a long-term investment in the American worker? In 2021,
exactly,
Teamsters nationwide elected me to fight for them, and that's precisely what I'm doing. Something is wrong in this country, and we need to say it out loud. I will always speak for America and the American worker, both union and non-union. I challenge each and every one of you, and especially my friends on the Democratic side, to embrace cooperation, to truly collaborate, to achieve meaningful and productive change, to ensure we make this great nation in this world the bigger, faster, and strongest nation in the entire world.
The fastest nation ever.
I love this country. The Teamsters love this country. Our 1.3 million members move America on the roads.
Jesus Christ. Anna Kasparian glazing the speech. Hell yeah, let them fight over who can be more labor. Exactly. Imagine falling for the GOP has outflanked the left by insincerely signaling worker populism for the, like, this far in, you know? Imagine if this, like, hey man, there's a stain on your shirt. Look down. I'm pointing at it. Look down at the stain on your shirt, and it's like the 500th time you've fallen for it. Jesus Christ.
In the ports,
Charlie, I'm not going to pull the football away this time.
And at the end of the day, if the powers to be stop me from raising my voice on behalf of American workers, I will not have one single regret. I still carry my commercial driver's license. I still have my place on the union seniority list. You'll find me back in Boston driving a tractor trailer, delivering equipment for Shaughnessy and Ahern. Because I have the protection of a union contract that gives me the freedom to speak my mind and to fight like hell. God bless the greatest nation. Thank you very much.
Look at his shitty sneakers, man. Of course. God, look at how bad those were. Like, genuinely, all the elegance of men's tailoring instantly invalidated with those ugly sneaker soles.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back RNC Chairman Michael Whatley.
No, gee, with the cane, no less. All right, well, that was cool. You know, I wasn't a huge stan for this guy anyway, but yeah. Hope the Teamsters Union, yeah, you know. You know. Relevant wiki article on how the German trade unions tried to cozy up to the Nazis but got killed anyway. After the Nazis seized power, the trade union leadership tried to save their organizations by pandering to the Nazi party, and in April 1933 offered to put themselves in service to the new state. At the same time, the ADGB chairman, Theodor Leipart, began to distance himself from the SPD and declare the ADGB to be politically neutral. National Labor Day. Even as the Nazis were planning to storm union offices, the ADGB leaders met with leaders of the Christian Liberal Labor Organization for talks about a merger in the hopes of forestalling a prohibition of organized labor. They failed to prevent the free trade unions from a nationwide surprise attack. Offices were stormed, occupied, and assets seized by the SA, the SS, and the National Socialist Factory Cell Organization. What an original flag. And some were brutally murdered. Nice.